Hello and welcome to At Brookings. I'm Gigi Hinton. As the controversy over health care reform continues, senior fellow Henry Aaron weighs in on President Obama's speech on the matter before a joint session of Congress and the American people. Then we'll hear from senior fellow Alan Berube as he talks about the economic recovery and its mixed impact on our nation's metropolitan centers. And finally, we'll hear from the man on the street as he tells us what he thinks about President Obama's speech on health care reform. All that's next at Brookings.
This is At Brookings, a review of news and events for the week of September 7th, 2009.
President Obama stepped up his health care reform crusade with a nationally televised address on the issue. Senior fellow Henry Aaron analyzed the president's message.
The president did something last night which is important to the achieving a political alliance between members of his own party and a few Republicans, which is he went all out. He made it clear not only does he think this is really important for the nation, but he's putting all his chips on the table. He's going to fight for this. And that sends the message, first of all, that if you're a wavering member, you may be able to strike a deal and get some things you want from a president who always has the capacity to reward members of Congress who support him. But it also sent the message to members of his own party that if Democrats lose on this issue, the cost politically for the party as well as for the president are going to be very large.
The economy appears to be on the mend, according to the Federal Reserve's latest beige book. But Brookings' most recent Metro Monitor report offers a slightly different observation, says senior fellow Alan Berube.
The report released by the Federal Reserve this week, the so-called beige book, looked at anecdotal information on the economic performance of 12 different regions across the United States. And I think the message that came across, at least in the news reporting about it, was that, hey, looks like we might be light at the end of the tunnel and getting close to turning a corner. Things don't look as bad as they did last time we looked at this. I think when we dig sort of beneath even those 12 different regions and look at the 100 largest metropolitan areas in the country, the sort of individuated economies, labor markets, housing markets, we see even really more of a mixed bag on the performance of these areas, where just a few look like they are poised to have made a full recovery from the recession, but many more are still struggled through the second quarter of 2009. And there's some evidence that actually things were even getting worse in a few of these areas over the second quarter. So when we put out the second edition of our Metro Monitor report next week, we're going to dig into those numbers a little bit more, and I think cast a little more scrutiny on the anecdotal information that came across in the Fed report and put some more hard numbers behind that.
What do I think of the president's speech?
I think he could have done a much better job in explaining why we need a public option for health care.
I think he gave clarity to the debate.
No matter what he's going to say, the Republicans are going to attack him no matter what.
He basically said that, look, we have the public option, but the ultimate goal is the universal health care. That's what we want.
And that's what I think.
At Brookings is produced by the Brookings Institution. To learn more about the issues discussed on At Brookings, visit our website at brookings.edu.